The Cowboys had a damn bye to prepare for this, and they come out with a clunker on both sides of the ball, quite frankly. So I'm sure you're all in agreement with me here. Type F if you want Garrett fired and you want Scott Linehan fired, because those two guys have got to go, because it is not working right now. It is a mess right now in Dallas. We'll take you now to our Cowboys and Titans grades. And as we go through these grades, it's not going to be positive, so just be aware of that. Offense, you get an F. We'll talk more about Linehan and Garrett here in a second, because those guys also did terrible. But the offense had 2 weeks to prep. You bring in Amari Cooper, we'll get to him. He actually played pretty damn well. The offensive line was, again, a mess. The offense had nothing going after the first quarter. It's not a coincidence, by the way, that for the most part, when the Cowboys offense is at its best, it comes in a no-huddle, because Linehan's a terrible play caller right now. You were bad on third downs. You completely ignored Zeke in the second half of the game. The passing game wasn't good enough. There were way too many mistakes. I give the offense an F. Let me know what you guys think. If you want to give them like a D, I guess I can understand that. But for me, it's an F for the offense. Coming off the bye, and you lay a complete and utter clunker, that's just unacceptable. All right, folks, we're trying to get to 5K subscribers on our Cowboys Report YouTube channel. Head over to youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. All of our great coverage all in one spot, including some exclusive stuff available only on that channel. youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. All right, the defense now. And look, the defense wasn't as bad. We look at just the pure stats in terms of yards and points, but I'm giving them a D. You cannot let the opposing team convert 11 of 14 third downs. You are good on first and second down. You forced some turnovers. You probably should have been up 17-0, had a totally different game. And yeah, you only gave up 215 to the air and 340 in total. But the third downs killed you. How do you allow 11 of 14 on third downs? The Titans did a great job of bringing guys in motion to seeing what kind of formation the Cowboys were in, and it worked 11 of 14 times. That's unacceptable from the defense. Chris Richard, Rod Marinelli, you have to do better. You cannot let teams convert 11 third downs on you and expect to win games. They were gassed at the end, in part because they were not getting off the field on third downs. What do you expect? So grade the Cowboys defense. If you want to type in an F, I'm not really going to argue that much with you. The Cowboys defense was not anywhere near good enough this week. They have got to be better if they're going to win games, because unfortunately, they need their defense to really, really play well. That did not happen against Tennessee. All right, special teams now. Well, Brett Maher missed the field goal. He was fine on extra points. Chris Jones had an iffy punt. I'll give him a D. You missed the field goal. That's a big factor there. I was pretty underwhelmed overall by all three phases of the game. This one for Cowboys versus Titans. All right, how about Dak Prescott? I know a lot of you guys are upset at Dak, and I get why. And you know what? I was pretty underwhelmed by Dak too. I'll give him a D-. He wasn't completely a failure in this one, but the turnovers were critical. And it's the same stuff we keep seeing with Dak Prescott. He doesn't anticipate all that well. He gets a little antsy under pressure. He wasn't a complete disaster. And in the end, look, I don't know if Dak is the franchise guy. I think there are reasons to have doubts about Dak being the franchise guy. Frankly, if you don't have doubts, I'm kind of concerned about what you're watching. But I think there are bigger problems with this Cowboys offense than just Dak Prescott. So is Dak the franchise guy? Type Y for yes, type N for no. As I said on Twitter at Tom Downey, I don't know for sure. But I do know this. It's an incomplete evaluation because Linehan and Garrett are disasters. And don't give me any Cooper Rush or Mike White garbage. Those guys are not the answer either. So you can look in free agency. There's nobody. You can look in the draft. There's nobody. In reality, stick with Dak with this year and next. If he continues to be the same guy we've seen this year, go tank for Tua in 2020. That's your best bet if you want somebody else out there, because there's not many better options out there right now for the Cowboys than Dak Prescott, as bad as that might sound. Folks, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI. Go to chatsports.com/bet and use promo code Cowboys120 for a 120% deposit bonus. With that $100, they're going to give you $120 for free for a grand total of $220 to bet with on BetDSI if you go to chatsports.com/bet and use that promo code Cowboys120. All right, some more post-game grades here for Cowboys Titans. How about Zeke Elliott? I'll give him a C-. In general, I don't put all of the blame on Zeke because it's not his fault. But I do want to make note of this here. How the hell does Scott Linehan give the ball 5 times to Zeke in the second half? What the hell are you doing, Scott? You are in a tie game or a one-score game for almost all of that third and fourth quarter. Now, I know he didn't have that many possessions. Zeke's only touch in the fourth quarter was a no-gain pass. That's garbage. And I know it's not all Zeke's fault. And I know he was fine to the passing game and was decent on the ground, and the O-line is set up and all that good. But this entire offense is built around Zeke, and he touches the ball 5 times on the ground in the second half. In a tie game at that point, or a one-score game at that point. What the hell are you doing? We'll talk more about Linehan because I do want to hold off a little bit there because it's a mess over there as well. How about one positive thing, all right? How about Amari Cooper? Now, I'm still going to miss not having that first-round pick, but Amari was pretty damn good this week. I'll give him a B+, and if you want to argue for an A or just an outright B, I'm here for that as well. I was very pleased by how good Amari Cooper looked. 5 catches, 58 yards, and a TD on 8 targets. He got open. He was a route runner. He's the type of receiver that Dak Prescott needs to have. Burned a couple guys. That touchdown was a beautiful route there. Got open as well. Very pleased by Amari Cooper. After one game, look, I don't like getting the first-round pick because it might end up being a top 10 pick this year, which terrifies me. But I do like getting Amari Cooper. And again, he's better than any receiver the Cowboys were going to get in the first round this year, or the second round, or the third round. So after one game, let me know. How do you feel about the Amari Cooper trade? I'm fine with it. Look, again, I don't like giving him a first-round pick, but he's a better receiver than the Cowboys would have gotten. And in theory, he'll be here long beyond Garrett and/or Dak Prescott. All right, coaching staff time. Scott Linehan, I hate you. You're a terrible coach. You get an F. I am so done with Linehan. It's a disaster, week in and week out. Sometimes the script works out pretty well, and it did for the Cowboys in the first quarter. And then he has to call his own plays, and it's not scripted, and it ends up being a mess. This Cowboys offense is broken. It is not working. And the definition of insanity is keep running out the same shit and expecting new results. You can't polish a turd, guys. That's what Linehan is right now. It is a mess. Fire Linehan. I am so done with him. I had hoped that today we were going to do our special Cowboys breaking news report show about Linehan getting fired. Maybe it'll still happen. But this is a disaster. I mean, I know the game was pretty much out of hand, but can we talk for a minute about how terrible that final possession was for the Cowboys? 2 minutes to go. You run a goddamn receiver reverse pass, which why would you do that in that scenario and think it's going to make any success? Second down was a mess. Third down was also a disaster. And then, oh, by the way, on fourth down, because you run a damn fade on third down, on fourth down you come out and you run a 2 tight end set. You take Cole Beasley off the field, probably your go-to guy in third down. What the hell are you thinking, Linehan? Why would you possibly think that was a good idea? Get him out of here. He gets an F for me. That was a disastrous showing from Linehan. I'm done. You can't argue Linehan anymore. And you know what else you can't argue is Garrett. Get him out of Dallas. He fails too. Look, in the end, I know there are a lot of problems with this Cowboys team. The quarterback isn't all that great. The offensive line has been bad. Zeke's been a non-factor. The coaching staff on offense is a mess. The buck stops with Jason Garrett. The Cowboys the past 2 years have regressed, including last year and this year. We've seen this for 8 years now. It's the same crap with Jason Garrett. It is not working. He's got to go. Get him out of here. What have you possibly seen from the past 16 games, the past 24 games, whatever, to justify Jason Garrett still being here? There is no positive thing that I have seen from Garrett that justifies him staying. He's got to go. Fire his ass right now. Fire his ass tomorrow. I don't care who calls the plays on offense anymore. It's not working. And God forbid if the Cowboys retain Jason Garrett after this year, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. Because there is no justifiable reason for Garrett and Linehan to still be here. Now, folks, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI. And if you go bet against the Cowboys, because I made the mistake of betting on them this week, chatsports.com/bet, promo code Cowboys120. Gets you a 120% deposit bonus. Now, he ranted on Garrett and Linehan. Ownership gets called out too. They get an F as well. Because it's not just bordering on incompetence anymore. We're kind of moving towards negligence. How can you justify Linehan and Garrett? How can you say, yeah, I have faith in these guys? I know you're going to do it publicly, but if they come back this year after a 7-9, 8-8 year, whatever, or at least if Garrett does, why? You can't argue that anymore. It's not working. It's the definition of insanity. You keep trotting out the same bad stuff each week and think, oh, this week it's going to be different, right? Like, here are my 3 greatest fears, all right? That the Falcons game didn't just break Chaz Green, it broke Dak Prescott, and it broke the offense. And each week, I become more fearful that that one actually is true. The second one is that Garrett somehow survives. Now, I guess I'll stick in the realm of logic and plausibility that there's no way the Cowboys can bring back Jason, right? But maybe they will. And, of course, my third is spiders because I hate spiders absolutely. But as of right now, I have zero trust in this Cowboys front office. Zero trust. They continue to indicate that we believe in Garrett and Linehan when they haven't given you any reason to. It's not working. Garrett's got to go. Linehan has to go too. The reality is, this Cowboys team is bad. They're going to win 6, 7, 8 games somewhere in that range. Knowing them, they'll probably beat the Eagles somehow next week. But if you bring back Garrett, why? Why would you bring back Jason Garrett? It doesn't make any sense. If any of you out there have any good reasons for why, let me know in the comment section. But I don't see it. I don't trust this front office. Now, Jerry Jones is out there saying he's making all the calls, even though it's really Stephen Jones and McClay making a lot of them. But Jerry does get final call. I know he loves Jason Garrett and he loves Dak Prescott, but use your eyes, man. It ain't working. So make some changes sooner than later, because right now, the season's already lost. You don't have a first-round pick next year. How much better are you actually going to be? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, and we will see you guys later on for our next Cowboys Report.